With details on the firings in WWE and more, this is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video. Mentioning when she got medically cleared to return to in-ring action, former WWE star Aleah James told Fightful, so obviously I hadn't wrestled since March, but that was due to injury. So by the time that NXT UK had shut down, I had just officially been cleared. No one saw it coming. I didn't see it coming either. So my extended time outside of the ring was due to that as well, and then after that I was still under contract, still tied to that company. So I wasn't wrestling anywhere and I wasn't doing any kind of indies or anything. That's why my story is a little bit different to everyone else's. Yeah, so when I had an injury, I fractured my shoulder. So I've never had a proper injury from wrestling before, so that was interesting. It was only about 6 to 8 weeks that it was, but the rehab process obviously made me feel like I got stronger afterwards. Then having this time off of not wrestling regularly, I actually feel like the strongest and the least injured I've ever felt in wrestling. I feel like it's a clean slate or break from my body, so it's been good. In a recap of an interview with Baron Corbin, this was said about him voicing displeasure over his finishing move being kicked out of. Fightful asked the former WWE United States Champion Baron Corbin about his input regarding Drew McIntyre kicking out of his finisher, End of Days. Baron told us that he had zero input in the decision and that it was something he fought for a long time. Corbin added that he had done everything the company had asked and towed the line, including being characters others would have had difficulty being. Corbin said he's never been the world champion, but he's been in the world title picture by being in feuds with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Corbin would tell Fightful that he has evolved with the company for the past 8 or 9 years. He said that finisher was the one thing he had. Baron said Cena, Reigns, Rollins, nor Kurt Angle kicked out of his End of Days finisher. Corbin said when WrestleMania came, he was told that it was happening. Corbin said he voiced his displeasure with the decision. Corbin would tell Fightful Select that he was not thrilled with it and that it wasn't his call, but they did it and it's over. In a video, The Rock can be seen backstage in WWE about to walk out for his return last night. Speaking of The Rock, there were some issues when it came to timing out his segment on SmackDown. As Steve Carrier of Ringside News noted, The Rock's time ran long on SmackDown and they had to make a few changes to the rest of the show. We were told that the blame for that is on Triple H, Bruce Pritchard, Ed Koski, and Ryan Callahan for not figuring that out in advance. WWE insider BWE added that few things being changed due to the kickoff, so time, segment, promos, ads cuts happening live now. Recalling his segment with The Rock on SmackDown, Pat McAfee said this after the show: "Tonight, to get to be in the ring, I saw all of it happen. The spine buster, the people's elbow, the eyebrow raise, the it doesn't matter, and you are an a-hole chant. The WWE my entire life has been my dream destination, and everything I've been able to do here, I'm incredibly lucky for, thankful for, grateful for. I'm happy to be back for sure. I just got to do the people's elbow with The Rock. I'm living not only my dream, but pretty much every kid that grew up in my generation's dream. So I hope I'm doing you guys proud. I'm trying to enjoy, and I'm beyond thankful for it all." Going into detail on his final conversation with Vince McMahon, Jon Moxley told Cincinnati's ESPN 1530, "I take a lot of pride in our work and our work ethic and the standard we set ourselves to and the way we do the job. To be one of those guys that's reliable, that's always there. The downside is that it's very easy to take you for granted. The last conversation I had with Vince McMahon, he straight up told me, we took you for granted. It is a tough job because I got a lot of experience, a lot of stuff is very familiar to me, and I'm comfortable doing stuff that a lot of other people may be intimidated by. Orange Cassidy pulled off an amazing performance. He lost, but he pulled off an amazing performance in his first pay-per-view main event. That was not planned weeks out. In fact, everything would have looked completely different. That's kind of how it's going to go. If you're going to have any success in wrestling, it's very rarely going to go according to plan. You've got to be ready to take the opportunity when it's there, and when things go awry and when the wave changes direction, you got to be able to surf on it and stay on your board, and you've got to be able to go with the flow, so to speak. Every big opportunity I've had probably in my career has come completely out of the blue. You got to be ready to get your shit together and strike when the iron is hot. Giving a health update on WWE star Luke Gallows, Ringside News noted that on the September 15th episode of WWE SmackDown, AJ Styles confronted Finn Balor from the Judgment Day stable. While Balor had his companions Dominic Mysterio and Damian Priest by his side, Styles had less support. During the commentary, Michael Cole mentioned that Luke Gallows, a fellow member of Styles' stable in the OC, was dealing with an injury, preventing him from being present at ringside. Unfortunately, further information about the injury was not disclosed. Gallows made an appearance in a backstage segment on the September 8th episode of WWE SmackDown, where he engaged in a heated argument with Styles, Carl Anderson, and Michin before Styles' match against Jimmy Uso. Gallows' last in-ring appearance occurred at the WWE Super Show live event on August 20th, where he teamed up with Styles and Anderson to defeat Austin Theory, Cedric Alexander, and Shelton Benjamin. As of this writing, the specific nature of Gallows' injury remains unclear, and there is no information available regarding the duration of his absence from action. This is certainly not the kind of momentum he wanted, and it could be a bad thing for the OC. It looks as though QT Marshall will be sticking around in AEW, as Ringside News writes. According to a report by Sean Ross Sapp behind Fightful's paywall, QT Marshall and AEW have come to terms with a short-term contract extension for Marshall. This was after a month of negotiations as well. Marshall has continued working for the company after a short vacation, but his AEW contract actually was up, and he was working without an actual contract, so that was rectified. The QTV leader is still vice president of show and creative coordination for the company, and most recently worked as a producer on Jade Cargill's final AEW match against Chris Statlander on AEW Rampage. His contract will also run for the remainder of this year, so we'll have to see whether he will sign a lengthy deal next year. Given that CM Punk had returned to AEW with his world title belt and called himself the real champion, many speculated that this could have led to a feud with the current title holder MJF. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful said that the CM Punk situation changed a lot of plans in AEW, but not one major program. CM Punk's fight with Jack Perry and subsequent termination surrounded a CM Punk versus Samoa Joe match for the Real World's Championship. Fightful Select reported the original plans. However, Samoa Joe's plans were already in place as well. We're told that despite CM Punk still having the Real World's Championship, there were no immediate plans for an MJF Punk program. Instead, Samoa Joe had previously been planned to feud with MJF, as is the case on television now. Yesterday, WWE let go of many employees during their recent round of cuts following the merger with UFC under Endeavor, as it was said that WWE layoffs have been completed, PWInsider.com has confirmed. We are told that over 100 plus employees were let go over the course of the day, so this was a rough day for everyone in the company, whether they have remained or have departed. One of those let go by WWE was Alexa Goddard, who worked as a manager for digital campaigns. She announced her departure from the company, writing, "I was on the WWE TKO list nobody wanted to be on today. Even though I can't stay, I've got some epic memories to carry me through. It wasn't just rolling out and optimizing partners' digital campaigns. I got to enjoy so many more laughs and learnings with the team. From working with some of the best talent around to writing some of the funniest social media copy we'll ever think of. Being able able to help at productions, appearances, or even to wrangling a French bulldog. It's been a very memorable time. Please let me know if you happen to hear of an opening anywhere. I pride myself on being creative yet organized, and I'm looking forward to continuing my career in a similar role. Thank you for your support. In more news on those fired from WWE, it was said that PWInsider.com has confirmed with multiple sources that Dana Warrior departed World Wrestling Entertainment today as a part of today's layoffs after Endeavor's acquisition of WWE. Warrior, the wife of late WWE Hall of Famer The Ultimate Warrior, began her association with the company after her husband's passing in 2014, taking part in the WWE Hall of Fame's annual Warrior Awards ceremony. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.